Good day, everyone. Today is Saturday, the 14th of March, 2026, and I welcome you to day 20 of 30 days of real estate content in Nigeria. My name is John Ulis, and I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties Limited. Thank you to everyone who has joined us in this Facebook Live and has viewed it and has gotten so much value. I've shared so much over the last 19 days, and you can catch it all up on here on my Facebook page, or you can go to my YouTube page, John Olisa, like and comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the page. Today, I'm going to be doing part one of a two-part series on 5 things you should do before buying a property in Nigeria. 5 things you should do before buying a property in Nigeria. And today I'm going to be talking about 3 of them. 3 of them. The first one I will say is this. Before you buy any property in Nigeria, determine the purpose for your purchase. So I say purpose precedes purchase. Purpose precedes purchase. Because the purpose for which you're buying a property will determine so much about it. Will determine so much about your purchase. So for instance, if you want to do a long-term real estate investment, and when I say long-term, my own definition is from 5 years upwards. That is, after 5 years, you want to start getting any returns if possible, whether from sale or the likes. An investment like land banking will be suitable for you. And as I've said in one of the Facebook Lives over the last few days, the land banking is buying land in bulk quantity, either for resale or for property development. So it's either for resale or for property development. That is land banking. So if you want a real estate vehicle that you are not looking out for immediate profit and you want for the long term, you can do land banking. But if you want something for the midterm, I define midterm to be between 1 to 2 years, and you want to now get your profit, off-plan property investment will be a suitable one. Now, off-plan property, as I said, is buying, over the last few days, I define off-plan to be buying a property before construction begins, buying it based on the architectural drawings, plans put to you, the designs, and you buy and you have the opportunity to spread payment over a period of time. So if the purpose for which you are buying your property is to get back your returns as an investor between 1 to 2 years, you can consider off-plan property development. But if you want a real estate vehicle where you start earning money instantly, instantly, in the next 1-2 months, a suitable one for you is shop let. So you just furnish it and you put it on the market and you can start getting your payments from your tenants, from your guests 1 month, 2 months. Another one, if you want to start earning money instantly, is yearly residential rental. Because here in Nigeria, we pay rent before you move in. So rent is not paid in arrears, rent is paid in advance. So this has to do with choosing the purpose for your purchase. And based on the purpose of your purchase, it will now determine the investment in real estate that is most suitable for you. So the first thing is determine the purpose of your purchase. Now you determine the purpose of your purchase. It now leads us to the second one, is choosing the ideal location. Because if the purpose is not known, whether it's for long-term like land banking, whether it's for mid-term like off-plan property development, or whether it's for instant returns like short-let and yearly residential rentals, if you don't have that, you will make a mistake in choosing the ideal location, which is part 2. So choosing the ideal location now, let's talk about land banking. Not every place is suitable for land banking, because land banking sometimes you want to get large plots of land. So in a place like Victoria Island or Ikoyi in Lagos, it is highly improbable for you to do land banking in Ikoyi or Victoria Island in Lagos, because there are no large plots of land available like that, except to buy buildings and break it down, which is not um, logical for land banking. Those places are not suitable for land banking. But in Lagos, if you go to places like Ekpe, Ibejuleke axis, you can still get land in large plots. You can still get land in large plots. So you can see, based on your purpose, your location will now determine where you go. A place like Abuja, you can still get land in large plots in places like Kuje, in places like Gwagwalada, right? That's suitable for land banking. But you want to do land banking in Abuja, and you're looking for large plots of land, whether in Maitama or in a or in a Gwarimpa, it may not be so suitable because these places are already developed. Remember, land banking is getting in pre-developed places, places that are not fully developed. So if you're doing land banking, those places will not be suitable in Abuja. The Maitama, the Wuye, the Wuseto, they are not ideal, they are not suitable. So that's about choosing location. But let's say you are now buying for so let's say you are now buying for a place, you are now investing in real estate for purposes like short let. A place for short let in Lagos, places suitable, Victoria Island, the Lekki axis. So they are suitable for short let, but they're not so suitable for land banking. But places like Ekpe or Ikorodu that may be suitable for land banking, may not be suitable for short let. So you can see, based on your purpose, your location will now matter. Places like Abuja, I said Kuje and Gwagwalada for land banking. They are good, but they are not suitable for short let. But places like Gwarimpa, Wusetu, Maitama that are not suitable for land banking are suitable for short let. So location matters. But let's say your own choice of investment was looking for just regular rentals, like yearly residential rental. Every and any place is suitable. And that's one thing about yearly residential rental. There's no place you have a rental property that people will not take it. So rental property, you can do it almost anywhere and you still get tenants. So that's the second one, choosing the ideal location based on the purpose for your investment will determine whether it will succeed or not. So that's the second thing you should do before buying a property in Nigeria. You can see we've not even talked about whether buying the property or inspecting. No, we are still talking about the preliminaries. These are things that many buyers do not take into consideration before they buy a property. So now I want to go to the third thing, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about today. It's about getting a trusted broker to do your real estate transaction. A broker is somebody who stands between you and the seller of the property or the property developer or the land banking owners to be able to negotiate the deal. A broker, for a fee 5 to 10%, helps you do so much. And when you're looking out for a broker, there are 4 qualities or things you should look out for. One, you want a broker that has a deep knowledge of the real estate industry. Yes. The first thing you should look out for is, does this broker have a deep knowledge of the real estate industry? So when I'm saying real estate industry, I don't just limit it to one aspect, whether it's yearly residential rentals. No, because a broker is not just a seller of property. A broker is indirectly an investment advisor, and their knowledge about the sector will determine how well they can advise you. Their knowledge about the sector will determine how well they can advise you. So did they have a knowledge of the industry, of the state where they are, of the locations, of what property does best, of what investment does best in that location? Are they aware of the government policies in that location or in the state? Are they aware of the road network, the water network? Are they the water provision? Are they aware of security? Are they aware of the power supply? You want a broker that is knowledge based, deep in knowledge about this real estate industry. So the first thing you should look out for under getting a trusted broker, which is the third thing you should do when buying a property, is to test them to know if they have deep knowledge about the real estate industry. The second quality you should look out for is integrity and transparency. And it's very important, because ideally brokers, quite rightfully, they do it for what is in it for them. They get a 5 or 10%. But you want brokers that can be able to give you dispassionate advice and tell you what you're bringing forth may not go. Or brokers that will tell you, I'm ready to walk away from this deal because things are not going according to plan. So you want a broker that is truthful. You want a broker who is a person of integrity and transparency. It's very important that you want a broker who can walk away from a deal if it's not what is best for you. So a broker knows that this deal is not best for you, and he will tell you walk away from the deal and walk on to another deal. You don't want a broker who you can read from their body language and everything. They just want to close the deal, and they're not thinking primarily about your interest, but their own interest. So under getting a trusted broker, you should look out for integrity and transparency from the broker. And the third thing you should look out for, the third quality you should look out for, is that the broker should have a large network of other real estate professionals, from architects to builders to surveyors to masons to lawyers to accountants. Because the broker is just brokering the deal, but in one way or the other, these other professionals play a role. The broker should be able to connect you to a lawyer that would review whatever document the seller of the property will give you. The broker should be able to connect you to an accountant to make you know your tax liabilities. The broker should be able to connect you to an engineer who can come and check the property when it's time for inspection to see whether there are structural defects that you may not see. Because it's not just about, oh, I like the property. A professional needs to look at the property to give an appraisal of the property. So your broker should have a large network of other real estate professionals that they work with. Yes, it's very important. And the last but not the least is that your broker must have strong communication and negotiation skills. Your broker should be able to easily pass across a message from the seller to you, must be able to expressly explain the goings on in the transaction. Communication skill. Your broker should also have strong negotiation skills. Your broker should be able to negotiate with the seller. Be able to negotiate what is best for you, to be able to get concessions. I remember when I was helping one of my clients get a property, a 2-bedroom property. There was already a tenant in the property, but my client wanted the property. So I had to negotiate on behalf of the client with the person who was selling, who was also the landlord. I said, okay, if the person is not living, there will be a prorating of the rent. How can we negotiate around there? And I helped to negotiate, getting the fact that because the tenant is still living in the apartment, there's still rent, we'll deduct it from the amount to be paid to the buyer. And it affected some other things I negotiated for him. So you don't just want a broker who is just there for that 5 or 10%. The broker should be able to show value that is worthy of the payment they are getting from you for that transaction. So these are the first 3 things that you should do before buying a property in Nigeria. And I'll share the remaining 2 tomorrow, because buying a property is likely to be the biggest financial decision you will make in life. Some of the other heavy transactions you may get involved in really include buying a car, but buying a property is not just a decision you want to make. It's not just a decision you just want to make haphazardly without going through the necessities. So in summary, the first 3 things that you need to do before buying a property in Nigeria are, first, to determine your purpose for buying. Purpose precedes purchase. Whether you're buying for land banking, whether you're buying for yearly residential or short-let, whether you're buying for off-plan, determine the purpose first for your purchase, which will now take you to the second one that has to do with choosing the ideal location. So based on your purpose for buying, that will now determine the location that will be most ideal for your choice. Some locations are good for land banking. Some other locations are not good for land banking. Some locations are good for short let. Some other locations are not good for short let. Some locations, or many times, locations, almost all locations are good for residential rental property. Some are better for off-plan. Some will give you better returns for off-plan than others. So your purpose for your purchase will now lead to your choice of location. And the last one I shared today is getting a trusted broker who must have a deep knowledge of the industry, who must be somebody of integrity and transparency, who must have a large network of professionals within the real estate sector. And last but not the least, who must have strong communication and negotiation skill. So this is where I'm going to stop today, and I appreciate you for joining me in today's Real Estate Live. Red Diamond Properties Limited, beyond being a brokerage firm, we are a property development firm, amongst other services we offer. And we recently launched our estate in Kuchiako Extension, Kuje. With 200 square meters, you can build a 3-bedroom terrace duplex, and it goes for 1.5 million. With 300 square meters going for 2.2 million, you can build a 4-bedroom semi-detached duplex. While with 400 square meters going for 3 million, you can build a 5-bedroom fully detached duplex. And with a 1,000 square meters going for 7 million, you can build 6-unit block of flat, 1, 2, 3 bedroom each. For more inquiries and information, you can contact me on +234 813 799 0792. +234 813 799 0792. Or you can also send an email to us at reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. Thank you so very much for joining in today's live. I appreciate you for being with me through this journey. Today is day 20 of 30. By God's grace, tomorrow we'll continue with day 21 as I keep releasing value to you on the real estate sector in Nigeria. Remember, one of the most important rules of investment, if not the most important, is this: before you invest money in any investment, firstly invest money in acquiring knowledge about the investment. And I've been saying this almost every day for the last 21 days, for the last 20 days. I've been giving you value on real estate, and I assure you, if you follow me, you get so much value on real estate in Nigeria. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.